Happy New Year, everybody. A couple months early. If you're looking for a project to impress your friends and show off when the ball drops, here's a little different take on the New Year's song, Auld Lang Syne. And I wanted to tell you a little bit about the song itself. It actually comes from an old Scottish poem written back, I think it was in the 1700s, if I have that in my notes right. I'll put that in the supplemental content for you. But it's a Scottish poem, and the words basically translate into English to the effect of days gone by, or remembering the old days. And it's sung at New Year's or played at New Year's in countries all around the world. Also, the Wikipedia page about this song has quite a journal of what all else this song is used for. So the melody and chords are recognizable actually in many different languages and cultures as well. Because of its Scottish roots, I wanted to arrange it in DADGAD to preserve that feel, but as I got to working through it, found that it not only had this nice Celtic droning sound to it, but also it worked pretty good with some up-tempo fingerstyle work. And actually there's some documentation that indicates that the up-tempo version is actually truer to the original anyway, if anybody actually knows that far back. So anyway, here we go. We are in DADGAD tuning. As I usually try to do, I'm going to try to give you a simple version so that if you're new to DADGAD or new to fingerstyle, you can still give this a shot and be able to play it. The simple version that I have, there will be tab for both. The simple version also has the lyrics in it, the most commonly sung ones. If you do a little bit of internet research, you'll find that there's a lot of different ideas about the lyrics as well. But anyway, the basic, we're in DADGAD, we're also in the key of D. That makes it nice. Since we are tuned to D, A, D, G, A, D, we've got 3 D strings to work with here. And here's one of our first simple chord shapes. The D chord is just one finger. Pretty nice and easy. And a close cousin to him is a D7 right here. Here's another one. I used that, you'll notice, in the melody on the way up to the G chord. The G is a little bit challenging to get done in a way that gets the chord across and yet preserves the melody, because we're way up high here. So watch out for very small, like two string chords with maybe one bass note. It's okay that some of them are thin and don't have big droning ringing bass on the bottom. It still works. Let's see, what else can I tell you before we start? Another nice thing about DADGAD is that this is what we call a modal tuning. It's really kind of somewhere in between major and minor. But we can get, since that's all there is to our D chord, if you come up here to the 5th fret, there's a pretty easy G chord. If you can bar all of those and lay down that same note there, and again here for the A, all right? And you'll see, I think, some hints of these chord shapes as well as we go along. So let's get started. The melody, I try to do at the slow Celtic intro, try to make lots of hammer-ons and pull-offs, okay? Kind of a bagpipe hint, if you will. Okay. I bring a 7th in there right away. Here's our melody, and then we go to here. What is this? This is the 5, 7, 9th fret. And that's our G chord. And now I'm going to start relying on 2-string chords or note pairs. Okay, we'll use that a lot. It's a nice harmony effect. Gives it a little bit more of a full chord feel to it. Even in places where I don't have a full chord shape to work with. So when I'm only playing those 2 strings, bring in a big E, or excuse me, a big D on the bottom. That would be the true D chord there. I sneak in a little transition there though. You hear that? So starting from here. Again, plucking 2 note pairs. Okay, here's our first position A7 chord. You need to keep the 6th string out of this and play 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. These are octaves, right? Both of those are tuned to the same pitch. They're D strings. So that's our A, and the melody goes. That's not really a true G chord, but it's close. That's a big spread. This is the closest you're going to come to a really nice low note G chord. You'll see me use this for G a lot, but here's our melody. Here's the rest of that A7 I showed you. Remember? But now, because I'm here, I need that bass. I'm going to go through that slowly, but at a steady pace now, and let you see the fingering for all of those chords and melody. And then the way the melody goes is it repeats this part again. It repeats again. Now at that point in the melody, there's a long pause, and I have a problem in that that's my thinnest, weakest chord out of this whole arrangement. So what I did is did a little bit of a 3-finger roll pattern on that, just to kind of fill in that space in a nice way. So it sounds like this. And there's a pull off in there too, so it's 3, 2, 1. Pull offs are all in the first string. Now we get to the cool part, which is a giant descending bass run right over the top of the melody for like the last, I think it's about 6 measures of the song. wanted to run from here whoops, I wanted to do it better than that. So the scale is roughly like that, and it's going down right over the top of the melody, even as we're going through, I think it's 3 different chords. So it took some work to find that, where to start it, where to finish it, and then set the timing up of it. But it goes like this. So when you hit this note here, you start here. It's almost it's not really a dissonant chord, but it's got a tension in it. You're actually doing that descending run at a faster note than the melody is. Now it slows down. Okay, that will take you some time to get used to the fingering on that and the timing. At least I hope it did. It sure took me a long time to figure it out. And we'll revisit that again. It shows up again later. So this was the final time through. Now, the interlude that I did in between that style and the next one is basically just a strumming pattern. You can lead that off with an upstroke. You have to start early though, because that's what needs to hit on the one beat. These are not straight up major chords here, but they're very close cousins to the D, the E, F, and it's a D with an F sharp on the bass. Here's our G and the A. Okay, here's the pattern, the shape. And we're strumming that. Right there is nice too. When you hit that the final time, we gotta stop, because now we need that to stand alone. Now the melody is exactly the same, and I believe I used the same chord shapes and positions everywhere. So the only thing you've got to change here now is use a palm muted alternating thumb, and this is mostly in dadgad. I think we're going to find that we're alternating between 6 and 4. It's not a 6/4, 5/4. It can be, but the chord changes I think are fast enough to where we're gonna botch that pattern anyway. 5/4, or excuse me, 6/4, 5/4. When in doubt, just stick with the D's, right? You got lots of D's. Now up here, I resort to a D, G. That's that one of those thin parts I was telling you about. familiar with the alternating thumb pattern and feel, that muted technique down here, then you're going to be fine with this once you've already memorized the chord shapes. And if you can get away with, or get the, if you can pull off the pull-offs, they're cool. Here on this chord, we're still doing the 6/4 bass. And here. Okay. And then you can do, if you want, another transition. The final version, which is now what we're going to do, is go to the Carter style, if you will, Carter scratch, the